part of music, my band. I didn't have one other record out. Things I used to do is Sockatille Boogaloo, but this local kind of a song, and Ray Charles. Now, every other day, we would play 5 days a week. Every other day, I would change my flow metal music. And he said, why are you changing music? I said, well, because the people's here last night, they may not want to see me anymore with this. You have to change up. He said, no, don't change up. He said, people are tired of it. Change town. Don't change the music. If you got a show working, keep the show. Just change town. You've been here too long. And that was good advice for me, you know? That was good advice. And then another thing what makes me get it, when people tell me I can't do anything, it won't work. So I make sure that when you say that, you got a problem with me when you tell me I can't do something.
Don't believe what Bobby Rush told you. Little skinny girls are taking over. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Blues America, taking you down to the crossroads. You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready?
Now, Bobby, let's go back to your early country days when you were hanging around with the great late Elmore James.
Oh, man. Elmore James was come to be a very good friend. When I first met Elmore James, I had his cousin playing with me called Boyd Gilmore. I was playing, Boyd Gilmore was his name. He was Elmore James' first cousin. He said he taught Elmore James everything he knew. He was older than Elmore, older than I, and all the whole bit. And that was a guy called Lee Robertson in Chicago, and he had a girlfriend in Belzoni, Mississippi, and Elmore James was living in Mississippi also, in Kent, Mississippi. So I wanted Elmore James to play for me in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and I could pay him $25, but he wanted $50 for 2 days. Now that's $25 a night, $25 a night, and I couldn't pay myself. I could get. You have a $25 a night, not $2,500, $25 a night, which was $50 for the weekend. So I told him I would give him $30, which is $15 a night. He didn't want to take it. So that was a gentleman called Lee Robertson, had a girlfriend. She had a funeral home. So he had been taking me to the club in this funeral car. And I would get out 2 blocks from the club because I didn't want nobody to see me getting out this hearse. So every other week when he didn't have a funeral, he would take me to the club. So this particular time, Elmore James said, well, I'll play for you to give me $50. I said, I ain't got no $50. I can give you $15. He said, I can't play. By that time, this girl walked out, which was Lee Robertson's wife, walked out. She was about 25 years old. He said, wow, look at that pretty girl. What would I do for that? He said, I'd do anything just to talk to her. And I knew she was my friend, and he was my friend. And I said, maybe I could pick this up. So I stopped and turned around and said, listen, next week, if I get this fixed up, will you play for me? He said, I'll play for you free if you fix that up. So I fixed it up. The hustler that take me out to the gig every other week. The week he would take me out, then Elmore James would stay at his house. Now, that's not right. It's not a good thing I did, but Elmore James would stay at his house, and every other week, Elmore James would play for me free. First time Elmore James to play for me free every other week. Yeah, that's how Elmore James played for Bobby Rush free. It's not a good story, but it's funny now since it's over, you know.
Well, how did you get into juke joints when you were a kid?
Oh man, I was in the juke joint when I was 15 years old. Man, I went and bought me some homemade mustache. Put me some glue on it and glue them on. I was about 15 years old, going to a place called Gettysburg, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And I go to Gettysburg, played. The guy knew I wasn't for the age, but I looked like I had my mustaches, when that play, man. And that's what I did, man. You know, go in there and play and leave out the back door and so on and so on. You know, I didn't have no business in there, but you could come in when you was 18. But when you're 16, you couldn't come in, you know.
Old lady wrote a letter to a young man named Paul. Then he wrote a back, left a phone number to call. Say, I'm coming to your house late one Saturday night.
In the early 70s, you recorded a famous record called Rush Hour with the producers Gamble and Huff. Now, how did you hook up with Leon? Because, it seems unlikely that a blues player would collaborate with producers that are known for the Philly sound.
Well, if you look at my groove, and Kenny Gamble, Leon Huff, Fisher Huff, he really knew was into me. And I got this funky thing about it anyway, man. I'm playing the blues, but my thing is funky. And he liked what I've done and liked the way I wrote. So he had a song called, he had the title of a song called Rush Hour. So I went up there and wrote the song. It never was on the album, but I wrote the song. He liked the way I write, liked my groove, and come to be good friends. So I stayed at his house. And in fact, these guys were one of the first guys who put me on to the business side of it. They trusted me so well, they destroyed me. When I say destroyed me, because I went up there to learn from these guys, what they was doing in the studio, how they write, what they think, how they produce, and the whole bit. They had so much faith in me. When I walked in the studio, I said, well, here's the engineer, Bobby Rush. Write, and so do what you want to do. And they left me there. And I didn't know what to do. But they trusted me, and they had so much faith in what I do and what my groove and whatever. And Ken and Gamble would just say, turn him loose, let him go. And then Huff was coming at him with his piano. I would take my guitar, we would play some songs. He just liked what I did, and we come to be good friends. And they put their arms around me, and they let me have my way. And I didn't learn a whole lot from them because I aimed to look over their shoulders and learn from what they was doing. But they had so much faith in me, they turned me loose. So I couldn't learn from my own self because I came there to learn, So Lou Ross and Granville White kind of introduced me to Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff. Granville White was really one who really throwed it to me, And I'm so glad I did it because these guys, Kenny Gamble, Leon Huff, really put the business on me. I mean, they really taught me the business side of how they recorded.
Red, white, and blues. You're listening to Blues America, baby.
Someday you're gonna want me back again.
You're listening to Blues America with today's special guest, the living legend, on the other end of the studio phone, the king of the Chitlin Circuit, Bobby Rush. Hey, Bobby, let's go back to Chicago.
Yeah.
You were friends with Muddy Waters and Little Walter and the Howlin' Wolf. What do you remember about those guys?
I remember, the first thing I remember Muddy Waters when he was 32 years old, something like that, early 30s, wasn't 35. He invited me to a birthday party. He was 30, 35 years old, whatever it was at that time. At Lake and Western, Silvio's Lounge. And the conference was supposed to be for 8 p.m. And I didn't think about it until about 10:15. So I said, I told my wife, I said, listen, I forgot to go to Muddy Waters' birthday party. I ran by there, and they was about 10:30. It was over. They was upstairs in a room. And he said, Blood, he called me Blood. He said, Muddy Waters been waiting on you, man. He said, you were his special guest. And I went upstairs and apologized. I said, Muddy Waters, I'm sorry. He said, Bobby Rush, where you been, man? I waited on you, man. I told everybody you was coming by my birthday party. So I went upstairs. He had about 12 or 15 girls with the dress all up. And I'm like 21, 22 years old, I guess, roughly to that age at the time. And I went in, and these old women were sitting around. I asked one lady how old was she. Said, I'm 26. The other lady said, I'm 35. And I asked one lady, she said, I'm 39. I sneaked out the back door and left Muddy Water because the lady was too old. You understand, they're 25 and 35. I laugh about that now. That was old to me. I'm like early 20s now. They're 39 years old, So I left Muddy Water. So Muddy Waters was my friend. He come to be friend. He loved some Bobby Rush. I don't know what it was about Muddy that he loved about me so much. And I'm a young man. I'm like a kid there, in a way of speaking to him. But he saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself. He always will invite me around where he was, do things with me, and invite me to his shows and what have you. And I'm just a good friend. Same way with Hollywood, you know. I hung out more with Little Walter than I did with Muddy, because Little Walter was playing with Muddy. I was living on 1220 Troy Street. He lived on 1229 Avis, which was street back-to-back street. I could walk out of my back door and talk to Little Walter every day. And Muddy Water lived about at least 30 or 40 minutes from me, you know. I would go by his house sometimes, but I would go by Little Walter's house almost 2 or 3 times a week, because we see each other almost every day, because we were neighbors. And that's kind of way we were good friends. I was friends with Muddy. I met Little Walter through Muddy, and for me, Little Walter got tighter than the Muddy because we were next door neighbors.
Come on, pretty baby, baby, won't you hold my hand? Come on, pretty baby, baby, won't you hold my hand? Well, if you be my woman, girl, I will be your man.
Got a black cat bone and a mojo too. It's Blues America.
More with this week's special guest, the star of the show, Bobby Rush, when Blues America returns. But first, a swinging tune from British blues legend John Mayall with I Want My Money Back, from the shiny new blues of Find a Way to Care, in stores now. And after a short timeout, the blues will continue at the break with former Blind Boys of Alabama guitarist Sam Butler, delivering some gospel-inspired sounds on Black Cadillac. I love that title. This is Blues America, available on PRX, Public Radio Exchange.
Damn right!
Damn right. Got the blues. Brand new. Blues. It's so shiny.
And you hug me, fill me full of drink. You take all my money, and I'm beginning to think you're just using me. I think you're using me. If you don't do something I like, I want all my money back. I bought you a new car and pretty new clothes. You heard you sing with another guy when I'm out of